Portugal's team doctor told Cristiano Ronaldo something before Euro 2016 that nobody was supposed to know, that his knee might not survive the tournament. Ronaldo played anyway. And what happened on the night of July 10th, 2016 became one of the most unlikely stories in football history. Ronaldo had been carrying a knee injury going into the final against France. Not a minor knock. A documented patellar tendon problem that had been managed carefully throughout the tournament. His medical team knew. His coaching staff knew. The public didn't. When the final kicked off in Paris, Ronaldo was the captain, the talisman, and the only reason most people believed Portugal had any chance against the France side playing at home. 7 minutes in, Dimitri Payet caught Ronaldo with a challenge that stopped the game completely. Ronaldo went down. He tried to get up twice. Both times his knee gave way underneath him. The third time he stood up, he was crying. Not quietly, visibly, openly, in front of 80,000 people and hundreds of millions watching at home. This was Cristiano Ronaldo, a man who had spent his entire career controlling every image, every perception, every moment the public saw of him. And he was standing in the middle of a European Championship final, crying, unable to walk properly. The stretcher came on in the 25th minute. He left the pitch, and that should have been the end of his night. It wasn't. 8 minutes later, Ronaldo was back on the touchline, not as a spectator, not to watch. He was directing his teammates from outside the pitch with the intensity of a head coach who knew exactly what needed to happen. He was pointing, shouting instructions, grabbing players during stoppages and telling them exactly where to position themselves. Fernando Santos, Portugal's actual manager, later said in a post-match interview that Ronaldo was communicating tactical instructions to the players throughout the second half, instructions that Santos himself had not given. Ronaldo had essentially become Portugal's second manager from the touchline while unable to walk. Now here's the detail that changes everything. Portugal were not a dominant team at Euro 2016. They had drawn 3 of their group stage games. They had barely scraped through the knockout rounds. Going into the final, France were heavy favourites on home soil. Without Ronaldo on the pitch, Portugal had one realistic option: defend, stay compact and find one moment. They found it. Eder, a striker so far down Portugal's pecking order that many fans couldn't immediately place him, collected the ball 25 yards from goal in extra time and hit a shot that went straight through Hugo Lloris. 10th minute, 1-0. Portugal held on. When the final whistle went, Ronaldo sprinted onto the pitch from the touchline on a knee that his own medical team had spent weeks managing carefully. He celebrated like a man who had played every single minute, because in his mind he had. But the story does not end there. What most people never heard was what Ronaldo said in the dressing room after the game. Ricardo Quaresma, who played the full final that night, recalled in a later interview that Ronaldo spoke to the squad before extra time during one of the breaks. He told them that he had waited his entire career for this moment, that they were not going to lose it, that whoever needed to score would score. Eder scored 11 minutes later. Ronaldo had won a European Championship. He had won it injured, off the pitch, on a knee that wasn't supposed to survive the tournament. He had won it by leading from a position where most players would have accepted they could no longer contribute. And the player who scored the winning goal had barely featured all tournament until the moment Ronaldo told the dressing room someone would step up. That is not a coincidence. That is what separates certain players from everyone else. Not the goals, not the trophies. The refusal to accept that the story is over.